As Hawkeye fans nervously wait for signing day, yes, the Caden Proctor saga continues. No official announcement from him. I'll give you some information here in a second. But the Hawkeyes did land a commitment from an athlete from Illinois that they'll add to that 2023 class. Teegan Davis, an athlete, DB/QB in high school. He'll be joining the 2023 swarm. We'll talk about it in a moment. But first, I want to remind you to check out our sponsor, Ascent Nutrition. They've got their Ascent Coffee. They've got Algae Oil DHA, their Pine Pollen Powder, which is great. All these products supporting your immunity, not polluting your body. I mean, that coffee, it's mold and mycotoxin free. It's great tasting. It's pure. It will not contaminate your body. And you'll be supporting our company here from the Hawkeye of the Storm when you support this company, Ascent Nutrition. Visit goascentnutrition.com. Follow the link in the description below. Any of the links to Ascent Nutrition in our description. So we're going to call him a DB here because I think that's where he's going to be at Iowa. DB Teegan Davis committing to the Hawkeyes on this Monday. Flipping from Eastern Illinois, previously committed to Eastern Illinois back in September. Teegan is, as I said earlier, a guy who played a lot of quarterback in high school. Pretty darn good athlete, standing around 6'2", 175 according to 247 Sports. I think Rivals may have him at 180. Got a good arm, got really good athlete. And you watch him run. I mean, the guy can move. I don't know if his future is at safety or at corner. He played a lot of corner in high school. And when I watch him on tape, first of all, most of his tape is that's available that I could find is Teegan as a quarterback. I don't see him playing quarterback at Iowa, obviously, but it does show us a pretty diverse skill set, a lot of option at Princeton. And, he's a guy who can beat you on the ground, beat you through the air. Let me give you some stats. In 2022, as a senior on offense, he threw for over 1,600 yards and 20 touchdowns and rushed for almost 800 yards and 17 touchdowns. Also had 52 tackles on defense with 8 picks. He was first-team All-State in the state of Illinois as a quarterback and a defensive back, won the Class 2A high jump state championship. Now, he didn't get a lot of high major attention, really not any, minus an FCS offer from a middling program in the FCS in Eastern Illinois. But I'll remind you of this. I go back to the 2018 class, and somebody else reminded me of this earlier today. Let's not forget that Phil Parker has gained quite the reputation, and I would say credibility, for identifying guys not only late in the cycle, but guys who are not recognized by the major recruiting sites, who are not offered by a bunch of other high major schools. I'll give you a few examples. In 2018, the bottom 3 guys in the class, according to 247 Sports, were Kayvon Merriweather, Seth Benson, and Riley Moss. All of those guys have been either All-Americans or all Big Ten guys. So I would say when Phil Parker is evaluating defensive players, especially defensive backs, although Seth Benson's a linebacker, he knows what he's doing. Now, Iowa offered Teegan kind of late. He was on campus this past weekend. But again, you just have to have confidence in what Phil Parker's doing when he throws out an offer to a kid like Teegan Davis. I think it's in good faith that he will come through. And it's a good sign that he's a successful track guy as well. Now, keep in mind, this class has already got John Nestor, Khalil Tate, Zach Lutmer. I don't know that any of those guys, certainly don't think any of those 3 are corners. Now, I could be wrong, but just from a physical standpoint, I don't see any of those 3 playing corner, especially not Khalil Tate. And I don't know about Teegan Davis. When I first watched him, I thought, he's probably a safety. Again, at his size, 6'2", 175, maybe he ends up playing corner. TJ Hall is a corner at Iowa, and we'll see. I think he's going to be a really good one at Iowa. Will Teegan end up being a longer corner? That's possible. Played a lot of corner, as I mentioned earlier, in high school. Now, put this in perspective. If you don't know where Princeton, Illinois is, just about an hour east of the Quad Cities. So he's not real far from home coming to Iowa. And no doubt a dream come true for this young man who is rated nationally the 1,433rd best player, according to 247 Sports composite. So dream come true for Teegan, who will sign on Wednesday. So the Hawkeyes flipping a recruit of their own. We are awaiting potential news from Caden Proctor. And I kind of teased this on Twitter. And of course, it's made its rounds. I'm not the only one who's talked about it. But rumors started swirling, rumblings, I should say, not even rumors, rumblings from Caden's camp. I can tell you from a source within Caden's circle, their visit to Alabama went incredibly well this weekend, and the word vibe kept being used. And I can tell you this, his camp is insistent this is not about money. You can call them liars if you want. I'm just the messenger. They are insistent this is not about money. The people down there, the whole experience was really just terrific. And according to this source within Caden's circle, Iowa's visit to Caden's home last week was less than stellar. More on that in the coming hours, days. But the visit with Iowa last week did not go well. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I've mentioned it several times now, folks. I'll be with you live on Wednesday talking to Iowa signees. We've got signing day Wednesday. I'll be chatting with a bunch of them live right here. We live from 1 to 5 p.m. We'll also be taking your calls, taking your chats and questions. Join us right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm Wednesday from 1 to 5 p.m. And if you are interested in sponsoring our show on Wednesday, this special live show, reach out to me from the Eye of the Storm at Outlook.com. That's from the Eye of the Storm at Outlook.com. Again, reach out to me. Excellent opportunity. This is going to be a stellar show, folks, on Wednesday. I am pumped. Join us Wednesday from 1 to 5 p.m. right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. We'll talk to you then.